Welcome to Connection. My name is Bilitis and I'm pleased to be your host today on Connection. Well, if you're new to Connection, what to expect? Well, you should expect, to enter a sphere where you get to meet inspiring self-leaders and as well leaders to others. And if you're new to Connection, you know what to do as well. Subscribe and turn on the notification button like this. Each time there is a new episode, you're the first one to know about it. And today I'm super pleased to introduce you to our guest who I asked him like a bit more details about him, how to introduce himself. And I received a full book actually. So I'm pleased to share a bit with you right now. So I'm pleased to introduce you today to Nicky Billou. And who is Nicky? Well, he's the #1 international best-selling author of the book Finish Line Thinking, How to Think and Win Like a Champion, and the Thought Leader's Journey, a Fable of Life. Fantastic, we can say it. He's an in-demand and highly inspirational speaker to corporate audiences such as RBC, Lululemon, Royal LePage, and Tosta Media. He's as well an advisor and confidant to some of the most successful and dynamic entrepreneurs in Canada. He's a co-founder of eCircle Academy, where he runs a year-long mastermind and educational program working with coaches, consultants, corporate trainers, clinic owners, realtors, and other service-based entrepreneurs, positioning them as authorities in their niche. He's a creator as well of the Thought Leader, Heart Leader designation. And as the host of the top 10 iTunes business podcasts, the Thought Leader Revolution podcasts, Nicky has interviewed over 200 of the world top thought leaders such as Barbara Corcoran from Shark Tank, John Maxwell, the world #1 leadership author, the New York Times #1 bestseller author Seth Godin, Marie Forleo, who is actually Oprah's coach, and Jack Canfield, author of Chicken Soup for the Soul series, among others. A few more points is Nicky is used to work with billionaires, Olympic gold medalists, world record holders, as well as he's an advocate for service-based entrepreneurs. He has helped over dozens of clients add 6 to 7 figures a year to their income. He specialized in helping entrepreneurs work less and get paid more. And my favorite line is that he's called the modern day Napoleon Hill because he gets to learn from the smartest and most successful people in the world. Please welcome Nicky Billou. Wow.
Thank you. Wow. I want to meet that.
No surprise that you want to meet him. And well, thank you so much for coming up into Connection, Nicky. And yes, for taking the time to share with us a bit more about your story and your different messages for us. So, Nicky, tell us more about yourself.
Well, first of all, it's totally my pleasure and my honor to be here with you. Bilitis, what you're doing is amazing. You are truly a heart leader because you lead from the heart. You want to make a difference for humanity and the people in this community of Titans, where you and I got to connect. Are very fortunate to have someone like you leading the charge to make sure they stay connected and that they continue to benefit, because none of us is as strong as all of us. That's one of my powerful quotes. And it's very true that you make sure that we are an all of us and not just a one of us. So kudos. Let me tell you a little bit about my backstory. So I am a Christian from Iran. And I immigrated to Canada with my family back when I was 14 years old, almost 15, in 1982. And we left our country because there had been a revolution, a theocratic revolution. An Islamic Republic had been set. And it's not like they were coming after us like these days the folks from ISIS have done after Christians in that area. But it was a lot tougher to live in Iran as a non-Muslim at that time. And there was a lot of things that were just not the way that my parents thought they ought to be for the family. And they saw the writing on the wall, especially one day when some crazy person threw a Molotov cocktail through our window of our living room. It didn't explode, which is why you and I are still here talking, but it had a note on it that said, Bemir Masihi, which in Farsi means die Christian. And it was, you know, it was one of the things that had my family say, okay, we really need to do some things here. And while my father stayed behind for many, many years, my mother, my brothers and I, we left and we came first to Greece and then to Canada. And I'll tell you this, we're very grateful for the freedom that the West offers, the freedom of free enterprise, to be able to create businesses the way that you want to, the freedom to think, to worship as you wish, to be able to criticize your politicians. These are things we should never take for granted. They're very, very important. They're a legacy which we need to leave to the next generation and the generation after that, and to teach them, most importantly, why this matters. And for me, this is a big part of my message, is freedom's precious, freedom's wonderful, freedom's lovely. Let's make sure that we all agree that freedom matters, because what unites us is far greater than what divides us. So that's number one. And number two is, my family is a family of entrepreneurs. My father's proudest boast was, son, you know, we fed 51 families this week, and that was ours and 50 others that worked for him. And he just loved that he got to contribute to the economy, both in Iran and in Canada. This was something that my father was really, really proud of in a very big and powerful way. And I'll tell you something, to me, because of my father, my mother's example, who also was in real estate sales, she was also a nurse, she came from the heart. My family was always very heart driven, always very much about growth for ourselves and lifting other people up. My father has made so many people successful, a few people millionaires and multimillionaires. And for that, you know, he was very proud, and I'm very proud to be his son. I'm proud to have his blood flowing through my veins, because it is a fantastic legacy. And for me, I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur and a writer and a speaker. All of those have coexisted inside of me. You know, since I was a kid, I wanted to write books, and I've had the opportunity to write books and make them bestsellers. And now I want to even take that to the next level. Since I was a kid, I want to get up in front of people and share my ideas, share my passion, share my vision. And since I was a kid, I wanted to be like my father and be an entrepreneur and do great things in the world. So to me, you as an entrepreneur, Bilitis, and every other person listening to this, you are the most important people in the world, because of your passion, because of your fire, because of your desire to make a difference. The world becomes a better place. Entrepreneurs do this, not big business, not big government, entrepreneurs. And so I do what I do inside of the work that I do to serve the entrepreneur. And I believe that in these crazy times of uncertainty, of pandemics and lockdowns, and God knows what else, it is most important for us to remember that adversity is not here to break us, but to make us. And that my job is to help every single person in the entrepreneurial space, frankly, in the world, see that they are a beautiful, glorious child of God, that they were put here for a mighty purpose, that this is the greatest time to be alive in history, and that together we can make this a magical time for them. They can take their life from tragic to magic if they only are clear that they don't have to do it alone, and they've got fantastic people around them. And if I can be one of those people, to be there, to give them inspiration, to give them a methodology, to give them a belief, to show them the resources that they need to win, then I've done my purpose on this earth.
Thank you so much for Nicky, for the energy that you put in. Like you would wake up the dead, I think. You're so much present. So thank you so much for opening up and sharing your story. And at a young age, facing adversity, to then be so much inspired by your parents. There is no word, and it looks like, yeah, you are in a limitless mindset.
You know what? It's not about what's happening around us. It's about what's happening within us. And I think we all have a choice as to what happens within us. And we learned that from many teachers, including Robin Sharma at Titan. I've learned that from Napoleon Hill. I learned that from my mom and dad. My father started meditating back in Iran when he was a teenager. He was 17 years old. He started meditating. He just recently passed away, but he meditated for almost his entire adult life, you know, until he was no longer able to, and he'd had a stroke. But prior to that, he did it all the time. And it was that rock solid belief that allowed him to go through some crazy circumstances and always come out on top in a way that he was able to serve people. And I believe that's important. And I think I should lead by example. If I call myself a heart leader and a thought leader, I need to lead by example.
Yes, and it brings so much, about self-leadership. And actually, I got surprised that when talking with friends, they didn't know about the notion of self-leadership. And when you talk about the hero and being an example, we totally talk about self-leadership and how we want to show up for others to see that something else is possible. But first we have to do it ourselves. We have to show that something else is possible, but we have to live it first to inspire others.
Brilliantly well said. I love it.
and yeah, so Nicky, based on your past, what did it lead you later on? What did it inspire you to do when it was time for you to work, for example? What decision did you make?
Well, I started to work for a company that was getting into the new field of deregulated long distance. Here in Canada, it was called Unitel. It was later purchased by AT&T and became AT&T Canada. I spent 8.5 years in that space. I learned a lot as a business person, but one thing that I learned is that it was clear to me that working for someone else was not for me. I was a man who was really molded to be his own man, to be his own boss. It was very important to me. And I say that with full respect to those who really understand that that's not for them and that working for an organization or for a company is what better suits them. But for me, this was that. And there came a time where it became super, super clear to me that I needed to work for myself. And God gave me a nudge. It was back in 2001, right after 9/11 happened. The company I worked for, actually right before 9/11 happened, went bankrupt. And it was a high-flying .com company back in the .com bubble days. And I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And I started to think, well, you know what? Let me try and get a job. I couldn't find a job. So I started to consult for a company I used to work for a while, and then that stopped. And then I'd recently gotten married, and I was thinking to myself, I don't know what to do. And a friend of mine says, well, what do you like? I said, well, I like health and fitness. I'm into working out. He says, well, why don't you become a trainer? You're pretty fit. And I go, yeah, okay, but I wasn't really feeling the energy then. The next day, someone called and said, hey, so-and-so said that you're a trainer. I need a trainer. Will you, be my trainer? So that was like that. And from there, my career as a personal trainer took off. I became friends with some Olympic gold medalists. I learned their methodologies. And, we put together a program based on the methodologies of Olympic gold medal champions. It was the first time I realized the power of upbranding. Having gold medalists in my circle immediately upbranded me. It was incredible. And that's one of the things that, I put to good use with the podcast. Let's face it, I'm not as big as John Maxwell. I'm not as big as Jack Canfield. There's no question I'm not as big as Barbara Corcoran. But the fact that these people have given their time to me and have said, hey, we are willing to sit down and give you our expertise has upbranded me so that I'm bigger than I was. And my brand has now become more powerful. And this sort of thing really, really worked for me. So after a while, I started to create programs for CEOs. I had a brand called the CEO Health Coach, and I worked with some of the top CEOs in Canada. Robin Sharma was a client of mine at one point. I was his fitness trainer. And so were some billionaires that I got to work with. And it was wonderful and fantastic. And then my marriage ended, seemingly out of the blue. And after that happened, I was lost for a while. And I started to realize, you know what? I was meant for more than being a fitness trainer. I was meant to be someone who lived the life he was supposed to be living, not just the life he was living. And whatever was in the way, I had to get it out of the way. So by happenstance, I saw a man deliver a talk at an event. It spoke to me. I approached him and I said, I think I need to hire you. He looked at me and he could tell I was defeated at that time. And I was defeated. He said, okay, kid. I wasn't a kid, but that's what he called me. It's going to cost you $5,000 for 5 hours of my coaching time, and I get paid in advance. And I'm like, whoa, I didn't have that kind of money at that time. It was right now, it wouldn't be a problem at all. But at that time, it was a huge problem. And I told him I didn't have that kind of money. He said, I'm going to do you a favor, kid. I'm going to give you some advice, some free coaching. Doesn't matter how much money you have. Doesn't matter how little money you have. What matters is how resourceful are you? How bad do you want this? If you want this, you'll find a way. And I said, okay, give me a couple of days. And I called a few people that I was talking to about working with me who had not given me a definitive answer. And I said, look, I'm giving you the deal of a lifetime. It expires at the end of this phone call. Half price to work with me. Are you in or are you out? I need to know right now. And a couple people said yes. I came up with some money. I gave him a couple thousand. He wanted $5, but I went to him and I said, hey, how many people did you share this little story with? He said, 30 or 40. I said, besides me, how many people came back with any money? He said, oh, you're the first. I said, take my money, we'll sign a contract, we'll get going. So long story short is within a month, I paid him off. And within 6 months, I'd made 6 figures. And it was a beautiful thing. I never looked back. That was when I started to write my book, Finish Line Thinking. I signed up 30, 40, 50 clients right away. But I only had like 1 or 2 clients left with that. One of the clients that I was working with and I were one day, you know, in the sauna after a workout. And I said, you know, I really enjoy our talks. They're really great talks. We should create some sort of mastermind together with a few other people. And he looked at me, he said, that's a great idea. And we should call it the Entrepreneur Circle or E-Circle. And we should charge for it. And I said, okay. The next day he had a website up and he'd set up an event. He said, go invite a few people. We're gonna pitch this. So we did. We started off, we had a couple of great groups that we started. It worked out really well for a couple of years. And then it was just clear that we weren't differentiated enough. And so he came to me and he said, look, I've been working with these guys from Australia and they have a program out there called Thought Leaders Business School. It's amazing. Like 80% of the people who do the program make $250,000 a year or more. I was very skeptical because let's be honest, Bilitis, most of the people who teach programs, they're lucky if 5% of the people who take their programs make the kind of money that they say they can make. Lucky, 5%. He was saying over 80% did this. I checked it out. He was right. 50% of the people made $500,000 to $2.5 million a year doing this work. This is 1,500 people over a 20-year period, okay? And about 150 people a year. Of the remaining 50%, right? 64% were doing 250 to 500,000, and the rest were doing at least 100,000 to 250,000. So I was sold, I was hooked. I started to immerse myself in methodology, and I started to marry that to what we did, and we brought thought leadership to North America. And what's brilliant about this is it's all steak, it's no sizzle, it's all steak. These guys, these charlatan marketers out there, they sell you the sizzle, but they don't deliver the goods. No results happen. For us, our people get results. Like I've made 8 people millionaires, you know, through this program. I've made another 40, 50, an extra $100,000 to $500,000 a year. That's an incredible thing. I'm super proud of it. And we really have a vision. It's not about the money, obviously, but money is a thing. Money is like oxygen, said the great Zig Ziglar. Try living without it for a while. You need money. Let's be clear, but it's not about money. It's about making a difference. It's about making an impact. It's about helping people right now who feel that they're stuck. It's about helping people who think that this crazy time means they can't do business the way that they used to. And I'm here to like give them the belief, the hope that, hey, you are that child of God. This adversity will not break you. It will make you. So let's get together. Let's lock arms. Let's show you how you can be a thought leader and a heart leader. Lead from the heart. Learn the methodology of thought leadership. Get that genius within you out. Be yourself. Don't be someone else. Don't be a third-rate version of someone else. Be a first-rate version of you and bring that out into the world. And believe me, your tribe is going to want to hear from you, and they're going to want to hear that. And your tribe is going to say, I want what you have. And they're going to do business with you. They're going to come work with you. And this methodology is proven. You got an 83% chance of making $250,000 to $2.5 million a year. Come on, man. That is a spectacular thing, and you must take advantage of this. You owe it to yourself to make that kind of money so that you'll never have to worry about money again. We need to take money and put it aside as an issue so you can be that light warrior who makes a difference in the world, and money never gets in the way. The fear of not having enough will never stop you again, and that's my mission in the world. I want to get you paid. And when I get you paid, when I get you believing in yourself at the highest level, when you're around an army of light warriors, you're going to do great things, and you're going to be feeling that you're living the life you should be living and not that crappy life that you were living. And that's my mission. That's my honor, to take that mission with all my heart and bring it to the world.
Thank you so much, Nicky, for sharing, and thank you for putting so much effort and energy into what you, and every single word you use. And I like when you tell the story, I love it, that the fact, you know, you were skeptical at the beginning, and then you recheck the facts, and then you're like, well, it seems this is working, like, and then you know how to appropriate it to yourself, to your business. I love as well, like when you were saying, like, from a conversation out of the blue in sauna, it's like, yeah, let's create an event, and 24 hours after, you even have the website. I love the speed of the event, of how it has all started, or how it has all developed for you with eCircle. It's a great story, and thank you for sharing as well, you know, your super moment, great moment, and as well your lowest moment, because that's how actually that are the one that build you up and bring you up back to have a reason to believe that there is something more to do. That when you wake up as well, it's in this type of moments.
Thank you so much. That's awesome.
You're most welcome, Kian. And what would be as well other messages that, you know, if you had an hour to leave, and there was a message that you really wanted to be out before you leave, what would it be?
You know, at a personal level, I'd say find the people that matter the most to you, kiss them, hug them, tell them you love them. And that's super important. And the second thing is that we were all designed to be free and to live a life of our choosing. And it's very important that we all understand that freedom is very precious. Freedom is very important. And I want to spread the gospel and the message of freedom to as many people as possible. I have this vision of having 1 billion millionaires around the world. #BillionMillionaires. I want to create the world's largest constituency for free enterprise. And I want to make sure that we have so many people that are wealthy beyond imagination for them, that there'll never be an opportunity for the forces of division and hatred and coercion, which is what I call socialism, to come and divide us and try to make us all be at the lowest level while a few people at the top are successful. And that's very important to me. That's the message I want to leave the world with. 1 billion millionaires, #1billion millionaires, and #1millionbillionaires. Right now, there's under 2,000 billionaires around the world, according to Forbes. Hey, let's get that number up to 1 million billionaires. 1 million billionaires would do some incredible things in our world and in our planet, and it would create a constituency for wealth that would just be fantastic. I have a vision where we have a world of extreme abundance, not that there won't be adversities, but where issues like hunger, like survival and security and scarcity are never going to be issues for the people again. And I believe with the free enterprise system, we can do this. And that's the primary message I want to leave people with. And also lead from the heart, always lead from the heart. Be a heart leader. Take that genius within you, that thought leadership, and get it out. And if you need help with that, reach out to us. We will be honored to help you. But you've got genius within you. The world needs it. And if you have already been using your genius and you want to take it to another level, we're honored to help you with that too. But lead from the heart, get your genius out, stand for freedom, stand for free enterprise, and hug and kiss the people you love. Tell them how much you love them and how much they mean to you. That's my message to the world. And exercise, and eat well. It's important. You'll be glad you did when you're older.
True, and drink a lot of water every single day. Water is a source of energy, and yes, as you mentioned, and yes, and I love as well the approach of, you know, yes, I love the mission of making more millionaires and billionaires, and at the end of it, as you already mentioned, it is not only about the money, even so the money is super important and it's a vehicle to get things done and to get projects done. And it's as well about the impact that we want to have on others. And the bigger the impact, well, money comes in the way as well. The bigger the finance are necessary, either to replant trees in Amazonia or to feed people who can't yet feed themselves, or to support others, or to find new sustainable ways in terms of electricity, or to serve as well other human beings who are not yet able to help themselves by themselves.
Brilliantly said, brilliantly said. And in fact, I say it's impact first. Impact and helping other people matters more than anything. Money's a byproduct of it. I just want to make sure people don't go into this crazy thought that money doesn't matter. We live in a commercial world. Money matters. Money is like oxygen. Try living without it for a while. It does not work. Okay, poverty is not fun. I've experienced it. I know lots of other people who have. Let's all be abundant. Let's all be wealthy, but let's not lose sight of the fact that it's not about being wealthy. That is not the primary motivation. The primary motivation is about making a difference. It's about having an impact, but absolutely make money too. Making money allows you to have an impact. When you get money as an issue out of the way, you can do great things. If your primary focus in the world is survival, then you can't do anything but think about money. So let's get money out of the way as an issue. Let's make you so abundant you never have to think about it again. And then you can make the biggest possible impact, and along the way make an impact, but then you'll be able to supersize your impact. It won't just be a tiny impact, it'll be a massive impact. That's what money's great for. So let's make sure we understand money is part of the world we live in. It's a good thing and we need it. It's like oxygen, and it is not the primary thing. It is maybe fifth or sixth down the list. Things that are more important than money are love and the people that you care about, are your health, are making an impact around the world, are preserving freedom, or for the next generation, are making this world and experiencing its majesty and wonder a priority. And then after all those, there's money. But let's not pretend money's not nothing, because it is definitely not nothing.
Yes, and it totally comes back to one of the last interview we've done with Ben Schmidt, where one of his key message was get your money right. And again, so you see, for everyone listening, again, it comes on the table. First, get your money right, and then you're going to be able as well to breathe more for yourself and move into the project that you want and have the impact that you want to have.
Brilliantly said. Ben's a great man. Well said.
Yes, I know you love to connect with Ben, and actually talking about connecting, Nicky, how can we find you? I know you are everywhere, but I will let you share on how do you want to be found.
So there are a number of ways to find me. So number one is you can just send me an email, Nicky, Nicky @ecircle.ca. So that's my email address. Send an email to me. Another way to find me is my phone number, 416-629-7481. If you're international, go on WhatsApp, send me a message. I'm not on WhatsApp every day, but I do check it once in a while so we can connect that way and speak. I have a website specifically about everything Nicky. It's called Nicky360.com, NICKY360.com. So that way you can jump on my calendar. There's a link to get on the calendar with me. And I want to offer this to everyone listening to this. If what I've shared today really touches and inspires you, and you're someone right now who knows you're meant for the next level, and you feel on your own you're not getting there, or not getting there as quick as you can, I want to offer this, Bilitis. I'm going to offer everybody a complimentary session, a complimentary success visioning session, where we sit down and we have a conversation, a real conversation about what you're dealing with, where you want to be, where the life you're living now and the life you ought to be living. And let's find a blueprint for what's getting in the way and what it's going to take to get you out of it. It is absolutely complimentary. And the way to set up that call is very simple. Go to my website, ecircleacademy.com. There is a button in the top right-hand corner that says set up success call. So go and click on that button, fill out all the information, pick a time that works for you, fill in the form so I have some information. I can ask you intelligent questions, and we can work together to have the right conversation, a beautiful, powerful conversation to allow you to get out of whatever's getting in your way and move you to the next level. It would be an honor to serve anyone listening to the show in that fashion.
Well, thank you so much for opening up on this opportunity. And now, you know, for everyone listening, it's just up to you to take the ticket and make use of this powerful conversation with no doubt, powerful conversation with Nicky. And thank you so much, Nicky, for as well your time, opening up again on your story, sharing your main key message, and again for your energy. Did you feel, everyone, how high is the energy of this gentleman? Like, wow, it's super high. So thank you so much, Nicky, for coming up and being what am I saying? Not 100%, 1000% with us.
My pleasure. It's truly an honor, Bilitis. You're fantastic. The work you're doing is incredible. You are one of the heart leaders of the world, and anything that I can do, I will do. And I say anything the world can do to help you, they should do, because you're doing great work.
Thank you very much, Nicky, for your words. And well, as you know, everyone, so Connexion supports Gifted Dream Foundation. And Gifted Dream Foundation, well, has been created by a dear friend of us, as well, part of the Titan community. So her name is Aida Sabri. She the founder of Gifted Dream Foundation, and her main goal was like to create back in 2012 to bring education to children with disabilities in Kenya, and as well to bring higher education to women in India. However, with what happened since the last few months, the priority has shifted from education to food. That's why the food parcel movement has been launched. And that's why as well, from wherever you're located right now, you can still make a difference for these kids and their family. Because did you know that for $2 a day you can feed a family of 5? And so that's what we're inviting you today for. You can make a difference, and the link is in the description box below. You know what to do next if you're interested into it. And as I mentioned already, what I love about this is that by being a bit on the backstage of Gifted Dream Foundation, I know that based on the action, based on what is said, well, the action are taken. So you know that what you're doing is really serving the people that it is said it is serving. And a month ago was delivered a food parcel for a month of food parcel to over 80 families in Kenya. And it made a difference for them, to have food on the table each day for the next 2 months. So you know what to do next if you're into it. Thank you very much for your support. Thank you everyone for listening to Connexion. Always pleased to have such energetic and amazing guests on board. Thank you again, Nicky. And I say to everyone, see you in the 2 next Friday. Bye, everyone. Take care.